how to cook restaurant quality steak at home without the mess. I'm Chef Mike Nassar from Detroit 75 Kitchen. We make bomb-ass sandwiches. Hands down, the best sandwiches you will ever have in your life. And we cook for each other. As we all know, there is so many different ways of making a steak at home. The traditional method is to get this pan super hot. Put some oil in there and throw the steak on there. Don't flip it. They tell you, don't fucking flip it. And all of a sudden, all this oil is just flying everywhere. One, it is extremely messy. You have to 100% disconnect all of the fire alarms. You definitely have to open the windows. Normally that method is done in restaurants because they have a suction hood right on top of them. Cooking it at home is just not fun. It's just simply not worth it to clean 2 hours after to cook one piece of steak. This is a really cool method of cooking a steak at home. Perfectly done every single time. And the most important thing is no mess, no special equipment needed. You don't need anything more than a pan and a steak. So first off, you need a really nice quality steak. I picked this up from a local market. This is a ribeye. It's about 1.5 pounds without the bone. You need it to be about this thick. So this is about, close to 2 inches or so, 1 3/4 inches or whatever it is. Get yourself one of these with a cooling rack on there. And the reason we're doing that, when we salt it, I don't want it to drip and I don't want it to sit in its own juices. It's really up to you to salt the steak half hour before, to salt the steak 3 hours before, and if you really have the time, you can do it the day before and just throw it in the fridge, uncovered. Basically, you're drawing all of the moisture out of the steak. Therefore, when you cook it, less splatter and it doesn't steam as much. You need to use coarse salt. Do not use fine salt. Fine salt is actually more salty. Whenever you salt from above. What do I mean by that? So you can get a lot of coverage. And you need to go a little bit heavy on the salt because it's a really thick piece of meat. Do not forget about the edges. You have to make sure the meat is at room temperature. You cannot take the meat straight from the fridge and put it on the griddle or put it in your pan or whatever it is. It's going to crust up really bad on the outside and it's still going to be raw on the inside. Not cooked, but raw, all right? That's not fun. This has been sitting on the side for about 20 minutes. You grab a piece of paper towel like this, dab it dry. You see all this water that came up? So the longer you do it, more water will draw out of the steak and therefore it will become juicier. We all heard of searing on a hot pan. We all heard of reverse searing, meaning that to put the steak in the oven, then when you take it out, sear it on here for about a minute or so. We heard of sous vide. This is a really cool method. It's called cold searing. A really cold pan. This is not on, I just took this off. And the reason I'm using a non-stick pan, because that's what normally people use at home. Neutral oil and non-olive oil. Neutral oil, cold pan, guess what? The salted steak, we're just gonna dab it dry a couple more times before we put it on there and just put it in there. That's all you gotta do. Put your stove on high. You're gonna set it on there for 2 minutes. Then we're gonna flip. I know a lot of times they tell you don't flip it. In my opinion, that doesn't work. On the edges of the steak, it gets that gray line. If you ever seen that gray line on the bottom of the steak, it means that it overcooked on one side. Definitely doesn't taste good. You see that it's starting to sizzle, and that's exactly what I want to hear. So we're gonna leave it on high for 2 minutes. 2 minutes on, 2 minutes on the other side. We're gonna turn it down to medium. A steak of this size should take about 8 minutes to 9 minutes from start to finish. We are going to flip again. Oh, look at this. And we're gonna turn the heat down to medium. From this point on, we're gonna be flipping every 1 minute. Every time we flip, the crust is just gonna caramelize even more. I like my steaks medium rare. I'm going to pull this off at 125. I'm gonna let it rest on the side for about 5 minutes or so. And normally it goes up about 5 degrees. We should end up with a 130 degree steak, which is perfect medium rare. A true medium rare is 130 degrees, pink all the way through, not bloody at all. It's been 1 minute cooking on medium heat, time to flip it again. And you see what's happening now, how the crust is building up? If I were to leave this on here for 3 minutes, can you imagine what would happen? Not good. I mean, when you're chewing it, it tastes like liver almost. That's not what we want. And the most important thing that people overlook all the time is melting the fat cap on the side. Next step is I'm gonna put it on the side for 30 seconds each side, because when you're eating steak, nobody wants to eat not cooked piece of fat. It tastes like a fat bubble gum without any flavor. But when you sear it and you get this color on the fat, that's some good stuff. And that's why you don't even need the oil in there. I just put it in there just to start it off. I put very little. But we're melting the cap and we're gonna cook with it. And the most important thing, you see all that melted fat in there? We're gonna save that, and I'll show you what to do with it later. Now, it goes on this side for 1 more minute. It is smoking, but it's not bellowing with smoke. And it's not making a mess. The most important thing, you need to use one of these. And the reason I say that, some people say, touch this and touch the meat or whatever. That's really cool. If you work in a steakhouse and you cook 150 steaks a day, you can do that. But if you don't, use one of these. It's just perfect. I want to take this out at 125 degrees max. All right? So it's time to stick this. And normally, you have to stick it from the side all the way to the middle. So now, this is what we need to do. Okay, you take a little bit of butter, 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, a little bit of thyme. As soon as the butter starts foaming up, do this number. And the reason we're doing that, 1, to give it some flavor. 2, whatever parts that we thought that it didn't sear properly, we're doing that now. Perfectly cooked steak, look at that. And no mess, all right? I'm saving this oil. I'm gonna show you why in a second. This is all of the fat and the butter. And look at this. This is the biggest mess I made all day. The reason why you rest a steak, you want the juices to get back where they're supposed to go. If I were to cut it right now, it's just gonna be super runny. Some parts will be super hot, some parts will be cold. But when you let it rest, the whole entire piece of meat will be just one temperature all the way through. So when that happens, all of the juices will get back where they're supposed to go. It's time to cut it up. A lot of people don't know, there's 2 sides of a cutting board. There's the flat side and there's this groove side right here. And the reason this is just to collect all of the extra juices so it doesn't run on your countertop. It's not just decorative.
I never knew that.
Really? You just like making a mess in the kitchen. Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna cut this on an angle. The moment of truth. Look at that. There's no gray line anywhere. You see that? And it's just cooked perfectly. You see the beef fat and the butter? All you need to do, put some right on the steak, just like that. Very little coarse salt, very little. I just want that extra bite. Some time, not necessary, but why not? Cooking a steak for me at home is the best. This is how I cook it at home. I cook it without the mess. I have tried all of the other methods. You need special equipment and you have to clean quite a lot, and it's really not worth all of that effort. And number 2, a steak for me is just salt and pepper. I already spent the money on the steak. I want to taste the meat. If you're making a proper restaurant style steak at home, this is the method to go to. Like I always tell you guys, I don't know everything, but whatever I know, I'm willing to share with you just because that's what I like to do. Now it's time to eat. Oh my God. You can make this with some vegetables on the side, steamed vegetables, rice, mashed potatoes. My go-to is properly cooked French fries with a steak. There is nothing better. Yes, cream of spinach, so on and so forth. Hey, you can do whatever you want. For me, it's French fries. Now you know. Go out there and try it out. Have some fun with it. Enjoy your steak at home the proper way.
You said the fat tastes good too?
Yeah.
Rubber?
It doesn't taste like a piece of bubble, it's just bubble gum, fat flavored. Some of you might like that.